Good afternoon. Yeah, very well indeed. Thank you very much. We move from the big match to the big race, Phil. The effervescent world of F4 bubbling away. More stories this weekend than a Croydon office block planning application.
Absolutely, yeah. I can't wait to see what the McLaren driver can do from pole. We turned 15 yesterday and he's starting on pole on his debut. So let's see if Langendonk can get his pole position turned into a win. It will be tricky because he did actually stall yesterday, starting P2. So we'll see if we can maybe get a better start from him today. But also big news is obviously the CDR driver of Harfield. CDR and Harfield getting their first win of the whole championship, in fact, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely a mega job. And we'll come to all that and build on it a little bit more as we get into our race, assuming we have time to do that. Let's have a look at how they line up, though, for round 24 of the championship. Dries van Langendonk on pole position with Tommy Harfield for Chris Dittman racing alongside. Martin Molnar and Ari Bansal are on row 2. Henry Jocelyn and Thomas Behrman completing our third row. Next up, August Raber and Adam Alazari. Then it's Fionn McLaughlin, the championship leader, next to Jimmy Pazik. He's third in the title chase at the moment. Ethan Jeff Hall is next from Ian Kraling. For Argenti, Alexander Savinkov. Our first look at him on the BTCC package, but he was at the Grand Prix meeting. Alongside him, Cole Hewitson, then Chase Fernandez and Rowan Campbell-Pilling. Yu Hao Fu and Joseph Smith, who joined us for the first time last time at Knockhill. Theo Palmer at Tom Ingram Hill, row 10. Henry Mercier and Guy Albage on row 11, followed by Xavier Avramidis and Peter Orzakowski. And Charlie Edge for Chris Dittman completing our grid. It is an absolutely mega field. We've got onboard coverage with the man currently second in the championship, Martin Molnar. Didn't score in race 2, so the gap remains at 44 points, 44.5 points between himself and Fionn McLaughlin. There is Charlie Edge for CDR. He's in the Challenge Trophy, so does the 7 nominated rounds over the course of the season. He will be back at Silverstone. I don't think he's doing Brands. That's the one that he's missing. And talking of Challenge Trophy, when we go back to the front of the grid, and Tommy Harfield, who is at the front of the grid, as you mentioned, Phil, I'm going to have to come back to it because we're very much under starters' orders. Hopefully we'll have some time to talk about who's done what and where as the lighting sequence is complete. So it's the 15-year-old Belgian, Dries van Langendonk, who does get it off the line this time, but into the lead and looking for a second career win is Tommy Harfield. Van Langendonk is coming under pressure and is passed by Martin Molnar, who goes up into P2.
Yeah, Langendonk obviously didn't want to stall again, so he's obviously been a little bit more cautious. But yeah, look at Harfield. He was away, wasn't he, there? Absolute lightning start for Harfield, who got his first win yesterday. And yeah, looking like he's already ready for a second win already.
Yeah, this is how he started yesterday's race, and it was maybe a little bit less benefit yesterday because the cars did manage to slot past Van Langendonk very quickly at the start. We had one of those heart-stopping moments where he was, you know, when a front row car stalls in single-seaters, you just worry that everyone's going to get past. Thankfully they did, as Thomas Behrman now starts to have a look at Ari Bansal. So Behrman in the number 7 car, the Silver 7, looking down the inside of the rapid young Indian driver, doubling up in the GB4 Championship. Right behind them as well is Adam Alazari, the Rodin Motorsport driver. Had a good run in race number 1, but it's Harfield the leader. In second position, Martin Molnar. This virtually a repeat of yesterday.
It certainly is, yeah. Alazari getting a great run there on the 2 of them. Then he managed to get a good run on Behrman through the chicane, because Behrman had to sort of try and take a different line as he was battling with Bansal. But yeah, let's see if Molnar can turn his look around and get some results, because he needs some points now to take this to McLaughlin.
And this is a good opportunity for him to do it, because Finn McLaughlin got to judge to have caused an incident in race 2, the partial reverse, and that gave him a grid penalty. It puts him down in 11th place. Now, in terms of the overall championship, he's going to be out of the points in 11th, but rookie-wise he will be. Could potentially wrap up the rookie championship here. I know our friends from TSL will be over the rookie points for us and maybe let us know how he's comparing with Thomas Behrman as we get a side-by-side down through the Craners.
Yeah, Raver's got a good run there on Alazari. Managed to get on the inside, but then was on the outside going into Old Haircombe, but managed to have the run to get in front. So Alazari's now trying to attack him as they go up the run, up the hill, the run into McLean's. Can he then get on the switch back for Coppice? This is allowing Jocelyn back into this. Jocelyn actually had a bit of a bad start. He started further up the grid, but has dropped back. Look at him trying to go on the outside of Al-Azhari, taking his front wing off, and a puncture for Al-Azhari.
Yeah, in the gravel, that is going to be an early safety car, unless I'm much mistaken. And yeah, a shame for him as Harfield continues to lead. Look at the gravel already all over the track, which is going to perhaps cause a few problems.
Big shunt there from a high-tech car of Alvamides as it went over the top of a car in front. Not sure who it was.
Yeah,
that's taken his front wing off as well. This is carnage in race 3 for the F4 Championship.
Yeah, probably are going to need a safety car to slow it down. The officials will be trying to work out if they need to, and they'll try and do that very quickly. There is Adam, he's okay, which of course is the good news. Great work from the marshals recovering the detritus from that. And it's Harfield that leads them down across the line. No safety car this time, so they're going to have to respond to very heavily waved yellow flags. And of course the yellow electronic signage that the drivers get as Field McLaughlin makes a move here and looks to make his way past the number 19 car of Alexander Savinkov, the Ukrainian driver.
He should have known that he had damage on the front end of his car. He really should have come in the pits because he'd taken his front wing off early on in the lap with Al-Azhari, and he's obviously going to have very little front grip.
He got the control back by the time he got to the track, which was the thing I was worried about.
Yeah.
And if it had been wet grass, he wouldn't have done, but he did do that. Let's come back to Harfield. Chris Dittman Racing, their first win in F4, extremely well earned. You know, not in a reverse grid race fast enough. I'll come back to that. Here's the start.
Molnar didn't make a very good start either. It was actually both the pole sitter and Molnar. So Langendong and Molnar made a really bad start, but Molnar's slightly better one than Langendong and actually managed to get in front of him into turn 1 around the outside. But absolute lightning start from Harfield, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely great start from him and the youngster who was part of the Challenge Cup. So nominated his 7 rounds. This is the first 7 events of the season.
That's Mercier that's just run through the gravel on lap 1, and then this is a replay of the very, very slight contact. You can see straight away the rear left deflated as the front wing of Jocelyn pierced the sidewall.
Well, we see that a lot in the meetings. It's like popping balloons, isn't it, really? If you get that close, it is a shame for the drivers concerned. And Al-Azhari was, I thought, actually beginning to have a decent run in the championship. Certainly did in the reverse grid race earlier on in the day. So Harfield's still out front. I'll go back to the point that making about our race leader. Is he okay? Has he got a wrist injury there?
He didn't hit the wall too hard. That's Ingram Hill, isn't it? He's also got rear suspension failure by the looks of it. He's either had some contact with someone or something's failed, so he's had to pull off the track. So not a great first few laps for Fortec, is it? With Jocelyn having the front wing damage with Al-Azhari, and now Ingram Hill out of the race too.
Got Bansal in 4th, so we'll see whether he can make it up into 3rd place by the end of the race.
So yeah, we're still racing. Obviously, a few yellow flags are out there, but it's quite good not to have a safety car for a change. So other than 19 minutes left, let's see if we can do the rest of this race without a safety car.
There's a slight hint of cynicism there.
I don't mind it, but sometimes we have them too often, but this is good.
Harfield doesn't want it, does he, with a
definitely
9/10 of a second lead.
Saying that though, Molnar has caught a lot this lap on Harfield, so Molnar really needs this more than anything.
Yeah,
he has to try and help his championship, especially with McLaughlin down in 9th at the minute. So McLaughlin has actually made up a few places. Oh no, he started 9th, he must have dropped to 11th, and he's now back to 9th. So yeah, he did qualify 4th.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about Molnar. He needs this. This is what happened yesterday. Closed in, couldn't quite. We're going to have another replay.
That was over Fernandez. So Fernandez has lost his rear wing, and yeah, that's number 2 of Smith, who's run up the back of him. You can just see he got on the throttle because he thought everyone else was, and he's driven over the back of Fernandez. So yeah, that's
good for the parts business, isn't it?
It certainly is. Yeah, lots of front and rear wings flying everywhere.
There's a bit market for that.
Let's see what Molnar's doing on his fastest lap of the race. He's chasing down, he's in the tow, he's going up the hill, up to McLean's. He's trying to get it in nice and early over the inside curve. Careful not to run too wide on the exit curve, so you don't want to get track limits. It's a blind right-hander of Coppice here. You've just got to send it in, use the hill to slow you, roll off the brakes as quick as possible, and send as much speed as you can without hitting that bollard on the inside. Now we've got the chicane, so we've got to go over the brow, and then we've got to brake down to 3rd and carry as much speed over these curves without doing too much track limits. Those yellow bricks that we call them on the inside really try and stop the drivers from cutting corners too much. Then you've got the final 2 corners of the hairpins, which are pretty good corners because they're good for overtaking. So let's see if Molnar can try and get a little bit closer. He's pretty good on the brakes. Let's see if he can try and throw one down the inside of Harfield. You can see how much he closes there on the brakes. He's got to get the exit though. Harfield's focusing very much on getting exits, but this is also bringing Langendonk into the race as well, isn't it?
It is. It's a similar story to yesterday's race for Molnar, because he was hounded by McLaughlin throughout the race, and Fiat managed to nip past him on the penultimate lap as they were on the Grand Prix loop. And for me, that was kind of a... whether it becomes a defining moment in the championship, but it's what you want to see. You want to see the top drivers in the championship racing each other, and we did. It was Fiat that came out on top in that battle. So he could have sat back. He's got a 40-odd point lead in the championship at the moment, but he didn't. He went for the move, and that kind of draws a little bit of a line under where he is in the championship. But equally, we've seen a couple of little mistakes as well. Obviously from all drivers over the season, but Fiat's had a couple this weekend.
Yeah, but it is his first year as well. We've got to remember that he is a rookie. McLaughlin's come from winning karts races to now winning F4 races, so fair play to him. As we see one of the CDR goes go around the outside of the XL.
Charlie Edge, look at that, round past New Fu.
Absolute brilliant move from Charlie Edge there. Now that's also brought Palmer into this mix as well, and also further back we've got Peter, isn't it? Peter in the blue car. Blue Peter car.
Blue Peter. I thought you would be too young to remember that.
I was on it.
Was you really? Have you still got the badge?
Oh yeah.
We'll have to have a concam with the badges, the twin badges. That'll be
We just saw Molnar trying to get down the inside into that hairpin that we were talking about earlier. He's very good on the brakes here, isn't he? He's not as good as Harfield through that corner, because Harfield manages always to get the exit, so he can't have a run into the braking zone of T1. But let's watch again. This lap, I feel like Molnar is going to be making a move.
Yeah, Martin Molnar trying to close up on CDI. Wonderful to see Chris Tippman racing at the front end, and we raised the question in race 2 this morning about whether there is another single-seater level championship. A single-seater championship at this level with as many teams, where every team has won a race in the season. I'm pretty sure there isn't, and that's a mark of where this championship is at right now.
Absolutely, yeah, so competitive. It's absolutely brilliant to see CDR get the win that they've been so well deserved for so long. But Harfield doing an amazing job. They've waited all this time for a win, and it looks like they're going to get 2 in one weekend. It's incredible stuff.
There might be curtains for him after this, because I know they've really scrimped and saved to get him on the grid this weekend. They've opted out of the Challenge Cup, so this is the 8th event. You have to do 7 for the Challenge Cup, so he's knocked himself out of the lead position in that championship. He could have come away with championship silverware, but instead he's opted out of that. He's come in here and he's had a win, and he's leading this one as well. And
that's put Ella Lloyd in the lead of the Challenge Cup, isn't it?
It has, yeah.
They're doing only 7 rounds there. All the girls are away doing F1 Academy this weekend at Zandvoort, supporting F1, so there's a few missing, but we still have 25 cars on the grid, so it's impressive.
Mega job from
fill all the seats.
MSUK and the F4 Championship, what a fantastic job they have done week in, week out over the last few seasons. It's a brilliant championship. And it has, I was chatting to, there's Harry Banter, I was chatting to his dad earlier on. His dad said, you know, he'd started in arrive and drive karting in India. He could have raced in India, but he said, son, the only place you've got to go is to the UK. Go to Europe, go to the UK and race F4 there.
Yeah, it's been a thing for many years that you need to come to the UK to earn your stripes, and obviously with the difficulty of a lot of these circuits, it really does help these young drivers start their careers and moving on into the next steps of the ladder, which is F3 for a lot of these guys. Obviously then to go into F2 and then F1, but yeah, some of these circuits, they're tricky tracks for these young lads to learn.
Some drivers actually say, do you know what, I don't want to be going to Croft and Knock Hill. But the majority of youngsters that you talk to and their parents say this is all about learning, regardless of the type of track. This is all about learning.
Exactly, yeah. As you can see, a move going down the inside there into McLean's, and they're now trying to get the switch back. But yeah, great battle here.
Savinkov
going on with
Hewitson.
Yeah, Hewitson. He had a good qualifying, didn't he? I noticed
if you look at his results over the course of the season, I think I alluded to this at Knott Hill, he's gradually climbing up the order. I would love to see the South African youngster back for next year, lose his rookie status, get in the mix for the
Molnar.
Oh, he has.
You did not need to do that. That was that's a silly mistake to get a track limits. That's a 5-second penalty. He now really needs to get the lead and pull away from Harfield.
Yeah, that's gonna put a knock in the championship points as well, isn't it?
Yeah. real shame for him. But let's see if we are going to get a bit closer now. Molnar is definitely closer to Harfield, but let's see the actual track limits that he did, or the final one that he did. Well, no, he didn't do a track limits there. The car in front did. But this is the big story of this weekend.
They're going to be signing you up as an official, mate, when you finish commentating.
Thank you. This is the big story of the weekend, actually. There was a lot of track limits, well, there's one, going on all weekend, and the pole lap was being looked at, and they're saying that that was track limits, and then other people said that they got track limits, but they got the laps were allowed, and basically it's been a real mess this weekend. I don't know whether the sensors are not working or something's gone wrong, but yeah, it's really it affected qualifying to a certain extent for a lot of drivers, and it is definitely affecting a lot of the race results. So yeah, we do need to make sure that we've got everything working going forward, because there's a lot of money being spent in this championship, and there's another one there, another 5-second penalty, and it's all been ruined by small mistakes like this, and whether it's the drivers doing it in the first place or whether it's the actual technology that is failing, it needs to be right, it needs to be put right.
Whatever happens though, we've got a race on our hands here, because Molnar wants to get in front, and from the viewers, at least it's not a drive-through which you can't get back. He can argue the track limits afterwards, but it also means we get to watch the race between him. Now the question is the team, will CDR tell Tommy Harfield that the second place car's got a penalty, and that takes the pressure off him a little bit?
It does, yeah. It's if he goes through, he knows that he's just got to stay within 5 seconds of him. So, but Molnar's going to be wanting to be pushing hard here to get this position and then try and pull away. But yeah, it's a difficult one. I mean, it looked like Molnar did run wide, but there's a sensor. I'll try and show you on this shot here as you come down the hill into Old Hairpin. Just look on the green bit on the left. There's like a little strip just there, gone. He didn't run over that, so that's not a track limits. So that's the argument. Is, you know, you've got to go over the sensor for it to take a photo of your car, and if you miss it, then you've not done the track limits.
It's like speed cameras, isn't it, on the motorway? It's generally indefensible, isn't it? If they've got the picture, then you're stuck.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And you can't pass it on to somebody else.
No, you can. I don't suggest you should. No,
definitely shouldn't. So Martin Molnar trying to close up then on Tommy Harfield up front. Tommy looking for a second career win in one meeting. Are CDR going to be able to do it? They're very capable of it. It's been wonderful to watch their progress this year. And the team, the celebrations last night, absolutely mega. They look so much more. And Molnar has a look. Now remember, the gap is accentuated by the camera, isn't it? So he was closer than the camera probably alludes to, though.
Yeah, no, I think he was looking for me. I thought he might have been defending, but Dries in the McLaren coloured car behind is a bit further back than that, so he definitely wasn't defending. He was maybe trying to make Harfield make a mistake, maybe look in his mirrors for a split second, have a lock up, and then maybe he could have got through. But yeah, I think he's going to have to be wiser than that. So he needs to really sort of focus on getting exits to try and then outbrake him into the next corner. You've always got to plan so far ahead. You can't just sort of think, well, I'm going to try and do it at this next corner. You've got to make sure that you're planning for maybe into the chicane or the next heavy braking zone into one of the hairpins, and that's like 4 corners away from where you are now. So it's very much a game of planning ahead.
I'm just trying to work out the rookie points, Phil, at the moment, and I think there are 3 points as it stands in the rookie race between Behrman and McLaughlin. It's 133 points. So yeah, by my reckoning, and my maths was wrong in race number 1. Remember, same score as James Caroline. That's why I'm going to blame that. 130 points left on the table for the rookies after this race. So by my reckoning, maybe title by half a point, but yeah, all subject to confirmation and official ratification.
Yeah. We'll obviously look at that later on. But Molnar's going to go for another move there. It's all a bit half-hearted there, so he does need to really sort of think about whether he's going to go for a really late lunge and just make sure that he throws it down the inside fully. And a little lock-up is okay. You just got to be in control of your car as you go down the inside and on the exit. And that's how Molnar got a penalty at Knockhill, because they said he was slightly out of control on the exit, which is what made the contact between him and McLaughlin and took them both out of the race.
So what's your thinking here? Obviously Molnar's got to get in front, but if you're Tommy Harfield, I'm guessing with the third place car not that far behind, you don't really want to be dropping down to third.
You don't, no. You don't want to be...
He wants to get to first past the flags
Yeah,
this weekend.
exactly. You don't want to be dropping back at all. You just want to focus on winning this race. So at the minute, Harfield's got this covered. He can see that Molnar's sort of half tempting to go down the inside, but it's not a proper lunge. So as soon as he gets a little bit closer, I think that's when you'll see Harfield starting to defend. Oh, good, another time penalty.
Harry Bansal.
Bansal now in 4th place. That's 2nd, 4th and 10th. All got 5-second penalties. That's going to make move a lot of people up the grid. And yeah, it's a real shame for Bansal because he was having a really good race. So yeah, what a disaster for Fortec. They really did deserve more.
I think the drivers should all get together and say what we'll do. We'll all do track limits for the first 2 laps, and then we'll just crack on with it. They're all over 5-second penalties, all the same.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They may as well. Molnar's gone for the inside this time. Is he going to make it a bit too late? There's going to be contact. He's gone over the top of his wheel. He's taken him out of the race.
No,
it's too half-hearted. He needs to go for the lunge. He can't just place the car down the inside and expect the car not to turn in on him.
Do you know what really... Tommy Harfield cannot get that back. Penalty for anybody. Does not get that position back for Harfield. I'm gutted for him.
Yeah, it was great to have that onboard camera to see that move. And we saw it for a few laps now, that he was sort of showing his nose but not really, and that was just, he wasn't committed. He's got to go for the move, and he's caught his front left wheel on the rear right of Harfield, and that's a real shame for CDR. Harfield did not deserve that.
But they'll take away...
out.
Yeah,
he's had a spin.
Now, has he been passed by McLaughlin? That's going to be key in terms of, we said it was half a point anyway, that might just underline the rookie. Here's a replay, he locked up, he knew he was in the wrong there, he's going to be in the clerk's office. Yeah,
and that's now put the pole sitter back in the lead of the race. As we see a replay, he's gone down the inside, it's just not there. He's not got down the inside, and it's real clumsy. I feel sorry for the pair of them, but
yeah,
you know, especially Harfield, we can see again with the onboard, he has got a slipstream there. You can see Harfield's half thinking about defending, but he's not there. He needs to get the front left up against the wing mirror at least.
Harfield tried to get it round the corner, didn't he? It just wasn't. And what it means is that we've got, you can hear the reaction from the crowd from our camera there. We've got Van Langendonk, now the 15 years old and 1 day, in lead position, unaffected by penalties, that is, as well. Here he is.
That is impressive, isn't it? Like, he literally turned 15 yesterday as he goes for his first car qualifying session, and he puts it on pole.
Yeah, mega job from him, wasn't it? And would love to have seen him involved in the race. Bansal 2nd time penalty, Molnar 3rd time penalty. So August Raber, I think potentially 2nd, depending on how far he is behind. And Jimmy Pazik again in the points here. Pazik could be up near a podium here again.
Yeah, he could. Yeah, no, he needs to keep getting these points. He obviously had the win in race 2 of the weekend, so. Yeah, he was the one to watch at the start of the year, obviously with his experience of doing the British Championship a couple of years ago. He also did it in Australia as well,
yeah,
I think.
He's reigning Aussie F1 champ.
Yeah, so we were expecting him to be fighting for the championship, which, as long as he keeps getting the points, we can still be up there. Pazik is in 3rd.
Well, particularly, I was going to come to judicial spill. What's going to be the judicial decision potentially for Molnar, with obviously the 5-second penalty for the track limits, but he's going to get a penalty for the contact on Harfield as well. So is that going to be a DQ? Is it going to be another 10 seconds, or
be another 5? I would have thought, maybe a bit more. But yeah, it could be worse. It could be a penalty going into the next round. But yeah, let's see. That's going to be something for the teams that are going to be fighting over straight after this race. To be honest, he's going for a move on the Fortec car, but that's how you do it. You send it down the inside, and you don't sort of.
Bansal left the door open.
He did, yeah, he did, of course he did, yeah, but you know, you've got to be committed on these moves. You can't sort of, and you can see Bansal coming back there, big lock up there. You need to tuck back in behind Molnar now and get the slipstream, but yeah, much better move from Molnar.
He'll be happy you said that. He'll be very, very grateful.
Yeah, I don't want to be too harsh, but you know,
no, absolutely
messy.
Right. It's nice to see that clean bit of racing, isn't it? And Molnar up into provisional P2, but with a time penalty to be added on at the end. But it's Van Langendonk who is our leader for road. Here's the pass again. Let's go with Molnar.
To be fair, he's a little bit closer than he was on Harfield, but he's still got the toe. But he's gone for the move. He's committed to the brakes.
Yeah.
He's actually not locked up either that time. But he made the apex before the other car, and that's why the move
although I
is
said
good.
Bansal left the door open, he saw him, he knew that was done, didn't he? So that was a respectful response from Bansal there.
Exactly. So there's Charlie, Edge, and is that Fu that's fighting for 16th and 17th position?
Fu fighting, see what you did there. Very good. Was that unintentional?
It was actually, yeah.
Very good, yeah.
At least you picked up on it.
So yeah, Yu Hao Fu, he's again a driver making some good progress. So Edge immediately ahead of him, and we're hearing, is he spitting and spotting out there?
Oh, that's going to make it exciting, isn't it? With nearly with 2.5 minutes left on the clock, we might get a little bit of rain and spice things up even more.
I think Mr. Gow's called in the clouds for the touring car race, hasn't he? Very possibly. So
yeah,
that
exactly.
might be what's happening. Time penalty, car number 23.
That is Palmer. So Palmer in the XL car has also got a penalty. So 1, 2, 3, 4 penalties now, and there's going to be plenty more after the race, I'm sure, for some of the incidents.
The only time you see more penalties is Man United in the Carabao Cup.
I don't know. What about the penalties in the Man U and Grimsby Town
That's
game?
The one. That's the one.
Oh, is it? Yeah. That was amazing.
Not want to rub it in for anybody.
I was born in Grimsby, you know, but I actually support Man U.
Well, you don't live in Manchester, so that's understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was
back
great.
to the racing. So Van Langendonk, the leader, creating a little bit of history. There's so many stories, great stories in F4 this weekend. What a weekend it has been. So we're going to leave the battle with Charlie Edge and go back to our leader. 15 years of age yesterday. I'll remind you of this story. The Rodin McLaren car. Normally we see those colours with Ella Lloyd, who, as Phil mentioned, is away racing F1 Academy this weekend. But either way, still at the front of the field.
Yeah, it certainly is. And Ella Lloyd, I think did she have a win in?
I haven't had a chance to catch up yet. Yeah, I know Nina Gateman did in the reverse race, another F4 alumni.
Yeah, maybe she was on pole, but yeah, the McLaren car is flying at the minute. But McLaren have backed this young Carter, and they've definitely backed the right one, haven't they? Because he is absolutely lightning with a pole, and it looks like he's going to get his first win on his debut. So we're going to see, obviously, one more lap after this, and see if we can have a Dutch win for Langendonk.
Yeah, he's done very, very well indeed. There's been a lot of talk about, he's done a lot of testing, this, that and the other, but you were saying to me earlier on that probably hasn't done as much testing because you guys know the industry, you know who's out, you know the youngsters that are getting the attention, but maybe hasn't had as much testing as some people have been saying.
Yeah, I think he's done enough to obviously get up to speed.
Well, you have to, yeah, of course.
But I'm not sure whether he's done as much as some people think. There's other drivers that have done more, but he's been concentrating on his karting career, and that's what he's made sure that he's focused on, and then he can obviously do a bit of testing in between kart races and get up to speed in an F4 car.
Well, McLaughlin is ahead of Behrman, so it's going to be rookie title to Field McLaughlin. I know that's not his ultimate aim, but he'll be pleased to wrap that up as the clock ticks down to 0 here. Confirmation of the last lap, and it is Dries van Langendonk, the young Belgian. Remember that name, remember where you heard it first, the F4 British Championships.
Belgian, not Dutch.
Belgian,
sorry,
yeah.
that's my bad.
It's chocolate. Belgian chocolate.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what a performance, and people will remember this weekend where he's come in at the age of 50, the youngest age that you can race British F4, certified by FIA to make your way up the racing ladder. He's only got the one turn to complete, and he comes across the grid lines and will head down towards the checkered flag, buzzes the wall and grabs a win on his first weekend in the championship. Bit of history written there. Molnar, we think, is 5 seconds clear and will stay on the podium. So Molnar second across the line. August Raber is third. So Molnar second, Raber in third place from Ari Bansal. Ethan Jeff Hall fifth. Jimmy Pazzi wrapping up the top 6. And 7th, we think, wrapping up the rookie championship is Field McLaughlin.
Yeah, that's a little bit of luck there for McLaughlin not to have to go to the next race fighting for the rookie championship. But yeah, great effort from him all year, but he's really going to be wanting to focus on the main championship. Yeah,
that is it. And we don't want to devalue the rookie. It's very important for the rookies, and the likes of Cole Hewitson, Thomas Behrman, very much their rookie year, will be able to, we hope, come back and do a little bit more. But that race, big shame, of course, for Tommy Harfield in that one. Did Tommy get going again? Yeah, he did. He finished in 10th. Tommy Harfield got in the points after all that.
Wow, that's impressive. He's not going to be happy with that result, but at least he came away with some points. he definitely deserved a lot more, especially
and reputation fully intact.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. But there's going to be a lot of talks in the clerk's office after this race, so yeah, I hope you're all ready for some change of results. But we've got 10 seconds of the track limit, so he's going to be dropped down all the way down to 9th. So that's put Raver in second, Jeff Hall in third. So that's a second and third for Argenti. Yeah, it's moved McLaughlin up to 5th.
Extends the overall championship lead there, McLaughlin.
He's done it again here. Yeah, you couldn't quite see the sensor there, but there is a black line that we'd have seen on the track, on the green, sorry, that he's obviously crossed. But yeah, it's an FIA championship. It should really run FIA rules, in my opinion, but that's a conversation for another day.
Here's the result, round 24 of the Wera Tools F4 British Championship here at Donington. And a bit of history. Dries van Langendonk, the 15-year-old Belgian, takes the win. August Raber second, with Ethan Jeff Hall completing the podium from Jimmy Peziek. Second in the rookies, and provisionally, I think, claiming the rookie title is Fionn McLaughlin from Cole Hewitson, who completes another podium in the rookies. Well done, Cole. Rowan Campbell-Pilling 7th. Good drive from Rowan through the field there. 8th place goes to Tommy Harfield from Martin Molnar and Ian Crailing. Wrapping up our top 10. Ari Bansal is 11th from Xavier Avramides. Alexander Savinkov 13th from Henry Mercier. Guy Olbaj next from Charlie Edge, who came from the very back of the grid into 16th. Peter Orzechowski ahead of Theo Palmer. Yu Haofu 19th. Thomas Behrman ultimately recovering for 20th. The other runners, Henry Jocelyn, Tom Ingram Hill had issues earlier on, along with Josie Smith, Chase Fernandez and Adam Al-Azhari. As you can see from the shot here, it looks like the rain is starting to disappear. We've got blue skies up ahead as they make their way down. Yeah, there 10-second penalties being shown to those drivers. A nice greeting for them as they come in. They probably do. Rub a bit of salt into the wound for them.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at the championship standings then. 2 events to go. Fionn McLaughlin, 45 points clear now of Jimmy Peziek, who goes up into P2. Martin Molnar down to 3rd. Tommy Harfield is 4th. August Raber 5th from Henry Jocelyn. Al-Azhari 7th from Behrman. Then it's Jeff Hall in 9th and Rowan Campbell-Pilling in 10th. Rookies, 151 points with 130 remaining. Fionn McLaughlin provisional champion. Thomas Behrman 2nd from Cole Hewitson, Theo Palmer and Xavier Avramides. Challenge Cup, Ari Bansal takes over at the top ahead of Ella Lloyd. That's going to be exciting as we go to the last couple of rounds. Charlie Edge is in 3rd. Good effort from Charlie, particularly in that race. Elba Larson next from Ian Crailing. Goodness me, what a super weekend of F4 racing we have had.